Friends, nerds, countrymen, we return to a double Flag Shack match here between Salt Farmers and Unspoken Alliance. Two armor teams, Aneros versus Guardian. Top end Navy Armageddon, a ship we very rarely see in the Alliance Tournament, going against a Vindy. And we see a return of the Daredevil at last to the Alliance Tournament following its decreased point value in previous years. Brett, run us through what's going on here.
Yeah, Unspoken Alliance have brought their Vindicator and Leshak in at 0 as expected, and they brought everything else at mixed ranges. They're hoping to use the Vindicator really high webs and the Leshak's hit really high damage to just eliminate everything. But Assault Farmers have brought everything a little bit more spaced back. They don't want to land at 0 at an all battleship comp, so they brought the Armageddon and Leshak in at 20 and the normal Armageddon in at 50. So it's going to be interesting to see how well these battleships trade as we see links going off and all the tank increase.
Yep, so match starting in 5, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's see what the first primaries are. I feel sorry for that Ponty that was warped at 0 for warping too late. It is right on top of a Vindy, and that is not a place anything ever wants to be. He burns straight away at the beginning, back towards his team. Does the Vindy catch him in time? Don't think he's going to know the Ponty is in fact webbed, but he did manage to pull some distance. We've got the Vedmak here taking a ton of damage on the side of Salt Farmers, but it is the Vindicator for Unspoken that is the first primary.
Yeah, the Navy Armageddon, Leshak Armageddon with all those cruise missiles are just pummeling damage into this Vindicator, and it doesn't look like the Vindicator is going to hold up. The Oneirus is just not repping it enough.
Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of damage, and we may have some nuke pressure going on, further reducing its ability to, like, if it has active hardeners, I feel so sorry. And there are some teams that don't put cap boosters on their core ships, and that's just asking to die. They always put cap boosters on your core ships, friends. They need them for exactly this reason.
But for some reason, it doesn't seem like the Vindicator and the Leshak are shooting battleships. It looks like they're trying to put damage into a Vedmak. I'm looking at the Vindicator, and it's just not shooting towards anything big. It's shooting a Vedmak, which is fairly small, so it can't track. It's a little bit far away. I'm looking at it, it's about 8k away. So it's just not doing as much damage as it could want.
Wait, what did you say was shooting it?
Vindicator shooting the Vedmak.
Well, you know, a Vindy, it's got that tracking bonus, it's got 90% webs, it's got those hybrids. It'll apply fine, but if it's TD'd or something, that thing's turned into problems. It is painted and neutered at the moment, which is a bit of a problem. It does seem to be holding under those Neuroscopes, but we do have our first loss of the game on the side of Unspoken. Looks like this Vexer for Clericer Partridge is in a bit of trouble here. It's trying to hold on. The Guardian's just about keeping him up, but Vindy suddenly dropping into low structure. Aneros needs to pay attention. Is the Aneros too far away to rep it properly? What's going on here?
No, it's just that the Leshak damage is finally ramping up to 200%, and the Oneirus just cannot keep it alive. The Oneirus is getting neutered as the as the Vindicator finally goes down, and that kind of saves the Vexer who was getting shot by it.
So that's a big loss for Unspoken, and that may be the final push that turns the tide of this match. That shack coming down next, that is a flag shack, remember, so this is going to be one hell of an expensive loss mail. I cannot wait to see the zero kills come through for all of the ships that we are going to be losing today. That are flagships. First weekend does usually involve a lot of flagship kills, just because there are so many matches and so many teams that just even winning a single match is a big deal. So they will put it all on the line at the beginning, as both of these teams have done so. The ship now bleeding through structure. It's going to go down soon, and it looks like Salt Farmers are in a strong position in this match.
Yeah, the Leshak is finally down. It's now just up to Salt Farmers to clear everything up. There's not really much damage left on this team to kind of kill the 3 battleships that I've left with the Guardian support.
Right, so it is now time for us to look down further and see what is going to be the next loss for Unspoken. If they can't turn around, it looks like the Aneros is getting primaried at last. It has been neutered out this entire match. It's going to struggle repping itself. It was struggling to rep other things, but it might be a slow death here for the Unspoken team.
Yeah, its ships is just slowly dropping. The Oneros, with that huge amount of cap pressure both the Armageddon and the Navy Armageddon can bring, it's just not being able to rep stuff, and things are just dropping like flies. The Oneros is finally caught. It's starting to take a huge amount of damage, and Salt Farmers are going to go and do a 100-0 victory here unless Unspoken pulls something out the bag.
Ooh, NU goes down. Half the team is gone here for Unspoken. It looks like this is now a foregone conclusion. Let's have a look at the bracket as we usually do and see what's coming up next. The winner of this match will be going up against... One moment. Yep, so winner of this match will be going up against Bright Side of Death from the last match, and the losers here, looking to be Unspoken, will be going up against the Weekend Warriors. And then the winner of Bright Side of Death and most likely Salt Farmers will be going up against the winner of Laserhawks Conifers.
Yeah, and it just looks like this was a very easy sweep for Salt Farmers. Salt Farmers bringing something very different that we haven't seen before. Bringing those 3 battleships that we've seen once before, but bringing Armageddon and Navy Armageddon, which is an interesting choice. What do you think of it?
I mean, you know, it really makes your Alliance suffer, but they did have good picks for Orange. Magus Pontifex for Lynx. They got a Vexor, which is just a fantastic ship, even if you can't have T2 drones. It's got this fair mids in armor configuration. You know, it's got blaster bonus. It's really nice. But yeah, I mean, the Armageddon, those ranged newts, man, they, like... Ranged heavy newts are so scary, especially to teams that are so cap dependent, obviously. And here, just neuted out everything, destroyed them. This Rapier, the last remaining ship for Unspoken Alliance, it looks like it's going to be a clean sweep here for Salt Farmers, not losing even a single ship unless some boundary violating happens. Although then again, I don't think Salt Farmers contains any members of Habitual Euthanasia, so they should be fine as we watch this Rapier finally go down.
Which was a very good execution by Salt Farmers there. Keeping all their light support alive despite all the battleships shooting them. It's an excellent use of the Vedmak to try and keep things locked down and then have the ability to flee when it is being shot.
I'm really looking forward to looking at this kill here of the Shack flag. I can't wait for it to be uploaded to the Z-Kill. I'm looking at one of our previous ones, but that was not in fact a flagship yet, though the base of the Shack hull is not cheap of itself, is it?
No, it is not. Seeing as you have to grind through a lot of these abyssal sites to get them, it seems like the price is still spiking due to the fact that it hasn't been farmed for quite a while, and the fact that quite a lot of AT teams are buying these Leshaks because of how strong having those 4 utility high slots are.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as soon as people know what a strong AT ship is, people buy at the market. Like, there have been years when you could not get a Sleipnir for love nor money during the Alliance Tournament. Same true with 3% implants. You know, Vindicators have been one to look at. Balgorns have been a very popular ship to buy up all of. And there are even just specific modules here and there that people just completely buy out due to relist at 5 times the price. And any teams that aren't prepared, that haven't made a stockpile before the tournament, they get absolutely gouged to fit out their ships.
Here is the amazing thing about the Leshak. The Leshak has a huge amount of damage at 20 km, but we're now seeing the Leshak from Salt Farmers swapping to long-range ammo and still hitting at 65. You're seeing, well, sorry, the Rapier's at 70 and the Leshak's at 0. This Leshak is shooting 70 km away from the Rapier and is still doing a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Salt Farmers are just taking a bit of a victory lap here, looting the field, getting everything, just enjoying and savouring this win before their next match, just leaving the Rapier for the final little bit here, as he just kind of slow boats around the arena, caught there by the Sunesis, but he will be going down soon. We do only have just under 2 minutes left in this match, so not much longer, friends.
Yeah, especially since it's a flagship Leshak, there could be some very, very expensive stuff in that wreck. So they want to wait until the last moment, loot everything, and hopefully get 10 to 15 bill extra from this.
Yeah, I'm spamming refresh on the page, but I think it has just come up. Looks like it was only 2 bill. It had 2 faction smart bombs in the highs. We got a faction tracking computer, a faction SIBO, looks like an abyssal MWD, a Dead Space rep, and a faction damage control. But it looks like the Loot Fairy was okay. It dropped the 2 True Sancha smart bombs. It dropped the abyssal micro warp drive. I'd love to see the stats on that. But none of the other shiny bits dropped, so the vast majority of the shiny, unfortunately, fell away.
Well, the abyssal micro warp drive could be very, very expensive if we knew what it was mutated from.
But yeah, that's the end of the match. Let's send it to some more commercial breaks before we bring you the next match.